The engineering bay of the interstellar station Concordia hummed with the usual cacophony of alien languages. Jessica sat in the corner of the observation deck, her sleeves pinned neatly where her arms ended just below her shoulders. She'd been born this way, a genetic anomaly that even humanity's advanced medicine couldn't reverse. But that had never stopped her from becoming one of Earth's most brilliant theoretical engineers. Look, the no-hands freak is watching again. The Zelthari engineer's chittering laughter cut through the noise. His crystalline exoskeleton glinted as he gestured with all four of his manipulator appendages toward Jessica. The other aliens in the bay, Vorath with their tentacles, Kryn with their triple-jointed arms, joined in the mockery. Jessica's jaw tightened, but she kept her eyes on the holographic display that responded to her neural implant. She'd learned to ignore them. For 3 months she'd endured this, ever since she'd arrived as part of the human delegation to the Galactic Engineering Collective. Jack Harper watched from across the bay, his hands clenching around the plasma wrench he'd been holding. A maintenance technician by trade, he'd seen Jessica's brilliance firsthand, watched her solve problems with her mind that others couldn't manage with 4 arms and a century of experience. The mockery made his blood boil. "Hey!" Jack's voice carried across the bay. "How about you focus on your work instead of running your mouth? Jessica's solved more engineering problems this week than you have all month." The Zelthari turned, his compound eyes glittering with amusement. "The limbless one needs defending by a lowly human technician? How precious. Tell me, human, what use is an engineer who cannot even hold a tool?" Jessica stood, her chin raised. "I don't need defending, Jack, but thank you." She walked out with quiet dignity, leaving Jack staring after her, fury and admiration warring in his chest. That night, Jack couldn't sleep. He lay in his quarters thinking about Jessica's neural implant, about the way she manipulated holographic interfaces with nothing but thought. An idea began to form. Wild, ambitious, probably impossible. But if there was one thing humans were known for in the galaxy, it was attempting the impossible. For the next 6 weeks, Jack worked in secret. He requisitioned materials claiming they were for station maintenance. He studied xenobiology, human neurology, advanced prosthetics. He barely slept, surviving on coffee and determination. Jessica noticed his exhaustion but said nothing. She was busy with her own project, designing a new type of quantum drive that would revolutionize space travel. The Galactic Collective had dismissed her proposal without even reviewing it. "Submit it properly," they'd said, meaning, have someone with hands write it up in physical form for the archives. The mockery continued. Every day brought new indignities, new laughter. The aliens saw Jessica as a curiosity, a broken thing that Earth had sent as some kind of joke. Then came the station emergency. A solar flare had damaged Concordia's shield array. The repair required someone to spacewalk to the exterior and manually recalibrate 3 separate nodes simultaneously. A task requiring perfect timing and multiple hands working in concert. The Zelthari engineer insisted only he could do it. With his 4 arms he failed. Twice. Each time the window of opportunity closed, and the station's shields degraded further. "Let Jessica try," Jack said during the emergency meeting. The Zelthari laughed so hard his exoskeleton rattled. "The armless one? To do a job requiring 4 hands?
Have you lost your human mind?"
"I haven't lost anything," Jack said quietly. He turned to Jessica. "I've been working on something. It's not perfect, but if you're willing to try." Jessica's eyes widened as Jack pulled the case from under the conference table. The prosthetic arms were unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Not crude mechanical replacements, but elegant extensions of neural technology, combining human bioengineering with adaptive AI, wrapped in a lightweight alloy that gleamed like mercury. "They interface with your neural implant," Jack explained, his voice rough with exhaustion and nervousness. "I base them on your thought patterns, on watching how you manipulate holographic displays. They should respond like they're your own." Jessica stared at the arms, then at Jack, her eyes glistening. "You built these for me?" "Well," Jack said with a small smile, "someone had to prove that human engineer was more than theory. The attachment procedure took 20 minutes. When Jessica raised her new arms for the first time, testing the fingers, watching them respond to her thoughts with perfect precision, the entire room fell silent. "4 arms," she said softly, looking at the Zelthari. Why stop at 2? Jack grinned. He'd built attachment points for additional modules. The spacewalk took Jessica 12 minutes. 4 arms, 2 of Jack's prosthetics and 2 additional specialized modules, working in perfect synchronization. She recalibrated all 3 nodes simultaneously, her movement so precise and elegant that the monitoring crew watched in stunned silence. When she returned to the airlock, the Zelthari engineer stood waiting. His exoskeleton seemed dimmer somehow, less proud. How? He began, then stopped. How did the limbless freak do it? Jessica's voice was kind but firm. Because a human saw a problem and built a solution. Because my friend didn't see what I was missing, he saw what I could become. She looked at Jack, who stood behind the crowd, his eyes red with exhaustion and emotion. That's what humans do. We don't mock each other's limitations. We build bridges across them. The Galactic Collective approved Jessica's quantum drive design the next day. Her prosthetic arms became the template for a revolution in adaptive technology across 100 worlds. And Jack? He became the head of human innovation research, proving that sometimes the greatest engineering feat isn't the technology itself, it's seeing the potential in another person when the rest of the galaxy sees only limitations. The aliens learned something that day. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their determination. It was their refusal to leave anyone behind, and their stubborn insistence that every problem had a solution. You just had to care enough to find it.